Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do we have a full night for you tonight? Hope you got some free time. So we're going to start with the United States Space Force 52 mission, or the USSF-52, which is, as we learned yesterday, the X-37B space plane. So it's an experimental craft that SpaceX is going to launch. The entire craft fits up in that little fairing right there. And that's what we're going to see in just a moment. The Falcon Heavy is special because it is 3 first stage boosters instead of just the traditional one. So we have 27 Merlin engines on that first set of stages. So let's say hello to everybody and we'll get right into it. As of now, fingers crossed, we're go. So, hello, Digger. Scad, hello. Hey, Jason. Weather's a bit cloudy. Okay. Might not be able to see landing then as well, but hey, Linda. What's up, HT? So, SpaceX is targeting today, 8:14 p.m. Eastern, for liftoff of Falcon Heavy's launch of USSF-52 to orbit from LC-39A, or Launch Complex 39A, at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. We're not going to read that backup opportunity because we're not going to jinx ourselves. That's just not going to happen. SpaceX will spool up their coverage 15 minutes prior. They have not, and they're saying 8:04 p.m. So I have eyes on their coverage, but it looks like we're going to get 10 minutes, not 15. This will be the 5th launch and landing of these Falcon Heavy side boosters, which previously supported USSF-44, USSF-67, Hughes JUPTER 3, and NASA's Psyche mission. So that was the asteroid mission. So a lot of very high profile missions taken to space by this specific booster. Falcon Heavy's 2 side boosters will land on SpaceX's landing zone 1 and 2, LZ1, LZ2, at the Cape. And like I said, we're already deep into this count, but it's normal for a Falcon Heavy. So the reason they use a Falcon Heavy is if it has to go a certain amount of distance. So they've used such as the one that they use for the asteroid. If they're sending payload to Mars right now, this is their preferred vehicle, stuff like that. Or if it's a heavier payload to low Earth orbit, or and there's different configurations. There's fully expendable, there's partially expendable, there's recoverable, which is what's going to happen today. So they can get it's really kind of versatile in what kind of payloads they can get, and of course that determines the price, because if they have to make new rockets, it's going to cost more. So so we already are into propellant load of RP1, rocket grade kerosene. The fuel in this situation doesn't change, and liquid oxygen. Second stage RP1 loading begins at T minus 35. Second stage locks at T minus 18. And that's kind of where we would be currently. 14, 21. So we're just about to start that second stage locks loading procedure. So that's kind of where we're at in the count. When we join SpaceX, we'll see Falcon Heavy begins engine chill. Again, that's cooling. They're flowing the fuels and things through the tubes in the rocket engine to not have as much thermal shock when they actually light the candle. T-minus 59 seconds, flight computer, final pre-launch checks. You'll get tank pressurization, all that kind of stuff in that same in that same window. Go for launch is 40 T minus 45 seconds. Hey, what's up, Nandor? Uh, Question: does SpaceX plan on keeping the different kinds of boosters, or do they? Well, they're the. It. You mean keeping? So they. Yes and no. So Falcon 9. Um. So they started with Falcon 1, which was a much smaller vehicle. Then they went to the Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is their everyday rocket. Falcon Heavy is their heavy lift rocket. Uh, and then Starship is supposed to be their super heavy lift. So they didn't originally intend on it. It was going to be just Starship at one point, and then he went back and forth. It is Elon, but yeah, they for now I think the plan is to keep the entire lineup because they have such different capabilities. So Falcon 9 can take up their Starlinks, stuff like that. But it remains to be seen what super heavy or the Starship's going to be because they can put up hundreds uh of satellites with that vehicle. So the market will probably dictate it. I would imagine that they'll keep all three just for the versatility. So I would, if it was me, but we have not. Another question: why is the use of side boosters as opposed to the single booster? Uh, why the use of side boosters? Oh, for this specific mission, because the payload's really heavy. So they need a little bit more thrust to get it into orbit. Uh, so they put the two additional boosters on so that it has the lift capability to get it into orbit. Hey, Bobby. Hello. All right. So, and then, like I said, continuing down, engine control commands ignition sequence start at T minus 6. And we have a liftoff of, is Chris Christie on board? No, I don't know that he could be lifted into space, honestly. I don't think it's possible. um, Here's kind of our mission profile as normal. It's pretty much the same as it generally is. We'll have launch, then we'll go into ascent. We're gonna make a quick right turn. Then we have the booster separations. They'll land at LZ1 and 2 at Kennedy. Um, then the core stage will continue for a little bit. Then we'll get stage separation between the second stage and the core stage. Then we'll get fairing separation, and then payload separation. I would imagine, given the classified nature of this mission, that they will very likely. Did you do it again to me? No, it's still up. Let me bring up Twitter because their broadcast has ended on Twitter. It's usually not a good sign. Unless I messed up. No, it's still there. Page does not exist. Try something. Blah, blah. All right, let me see. They might have another scrub. Standing down. There we go. Standing down from tonight's Falcon Heavy launch due to a groundside issue. Vehicle and payload remain healthy. Team is resetting for the next launch opportunity of USSF-52 mission, which is no earlier than tomorrow night. So we got blue balls again. Yet again. This is a NASA problem. This is NASA wanting everything to be 100%. So we'll look at what our tomorrow backup launch opportunity is available during the same time on Tuesday, December 12th. So we'll try one more time tomorrow evening. Yeah, that sucks. Again, this is all a NASA issue. Another, yeah, this is all a NASA issue because they want their baby to make it up safe, and they take far too many precautions. So, I don't know. That that's an interesting conundrum because they have so there is supposed to be a another Falcon 9 launched this evening, Starlink mission, and I wonder if they changed that as well. Um, they have not changed the Starlink for 11 o'clock Eastern, but they're going to overfly 39A with NASA's payload on board. Eh, I doubt it. I'll keep an eye on this, and I'm not sharing my dungeon with NASA. I wouldn't either. Um, so I'll keep my eye on the second Starlink launch. If it is a go, I will certainly cover it. If it is not a go, um, I'll let you know in the main show, which is coming up. So um, basically, it's still up in an hour. Then we'll probably go. If it's not, then we won't be. So yeah, I mean, they still have targeted liftoff 11:05 p.m. Eastern, Falcon 9, December 11th. So hopefully. Did you see the story of an F-35 shooting a cruise missile air to air? No, but there's been some interesting stuff. Um, there's been some interesting things. Uh, Jason, that's kind of the perspective of the image. So it just looks funny because these right here are the hold downs for the platform. So it looks like it's not connected, but it's connected up underneath of them. But um, there's been some interesting stuff going on. There was another F-16, F-18 that went down in the Pacific. And she's never just talking about it. There was supposedly a big cyber hack or cyber attack from China today. But we cannot nail down any details. Can't find anything on it. So um we'll see. We'll see. But it seems like things are getting very, very exciting, kind of ramping up and heating up. But all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I go early, Daz will be pissed. About 25 minutes, we will be doing the Matthew Moore trial. Plan on having Matthew tonight. We'll be continuing that. And then after that, 11:05. So my coverage will start at probably 10:45. We will cover the Starlink launch from Kennedy Space Center, despite the scrubbing of this one. With that being said, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I hope you guys have a good one. Don't do anything I didn't do unless you mail me pictures. Good night.